bow, chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow, bow, chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow, bow, chicka wow.
Oh,
Hey, this is Spirit Wisdom Reset Show. Listen to your spirit so that you can
yes.
gain the necessary wisdom, so that you can do
Mm-hmm.
the necessary actions to cause you to reset your behaviors. This is what this is all about, my people. This is coming back in on the segment of Crossroads, the third phase in the segment of Crossroads. There's Crossroads, the overview, and what happens first, what happens second. And now we're on the third thing, baby, and that's about receiving. Receiving. I am Mayet Ajay Ib, and this is my beautiful co-host, Ujo.
Ujo.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Receiving. And hey, I ain't let y'all off the hook. There were some things you're supposed to been doing in the flow. After every session, there might be some stuff you're supposed to do. This is just giving you a help to prepare you on where it is you can get to, do what it is you need to do. So let's get back to it. Receive. Ooh, when you're on that journey and you're at the crossroads, some stuff that your ass did that got you to a space of crossroads. It's the resistance, right? You stop resisting, recognize resisting. Once you go through the process of looking deeply, get to the flow aspect. And things are happening, downloads are coming. You're in full recognition of what's happening, and you're just kind of getting into it. There's a key component as you get into it, as you're in that flow. You must be open to receive all the things that are required for your growth. All the things. That's the what you might consider good and bad. As we said in the last episode, nothing is good, bad, right, or wrong. It just is what it is. So you get into you got to be able to receive everything in your journey, because you're gonna get like this little movie reel of what this journey is going to be like. It's gonna come like this. But you can but because if you look at it from a spiritual eye, you step outside of this time space continuum, and there is no time, so you can actually see that thing in real time. You can see that thing in real time in the future, right? You can see that thing in real time in the future. So as you're seeing that thing in real time in the actual future, you're able to gain from that. Gain and say, okay, I see everything I'm going to have to endure. And I also see everything that comes on the end of that thing. All of the things that I have to endure, all the things that I stand to gain, whether it is monetary, non monetary, socially, spiritually, relationally, whatever it is, you see that what's you're going to get from this, a total package. You have to be ready and willing. You have to be open in every aspect of that word, baby. You got to be open. You got to say, you know what? I'm putting my big girl britches on, because everything you saw is going to lead you to another step. And in each of those steps to get to that particular place you saw, those particular events you saw within that vision, you're going to definitely have to go through some things to get there. See, I want to always keep it real for you, because I want you to understand that, baby, it ain't, this life in the spiritual world ain't no crystal stair.
Mm-hmm.
In that internal journey, in that I'm ready to heal, that I ain't got time for this kind of journey, that where I'm serious about who I am kind of journey, it's not no crystal stair. I don't want to make it appear to be as such. See, the more you evolve, in who it is you are, there are going to be challenges that are going to become, because the greater you are destined to be, in most instances, the greater the challenges you'll experience.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to be open enough to receive everything and count it all joy. I'm receiving everything. You have to be welcoming to receive and open to receive everything. Every single thing.
Yeah. I think with another point of receiving is oftentimes we can get caught up in focusing on what we want.
Mm-hmm.
This is where resistance can tie into that, because you can want all the things, but if you don't know how to receive just like some of the basic things, If you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to receive a compliment or a kind gesture, if you don't
Mm.
know how to receive um, positive energy, if you don't know how to receive peace,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know how to receive silence and solitude, if you don't know how to receive that, then like you are literally in the way of you gaining the things that you want. You can't bypass that. Trust me, I've tried. I've tried
Okay.
so many times.
You're like, can I just skip a step?
Yes, I've tried, and it's like, ooh, you only have the capacity, the emotional and energetic capacity to give what you receive, or to and it goes like both ways, right?
Yeah.
So there is in the same thing, or to let me say, to manifest what you like, when it comes to manifesting what you want, to bringing in the things that you want in your life, like what is your capacity to receive those things
Mm-hmm.
that are required in order for you to set the foundation, or to even recalibrate yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a part of it too, and I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. But to
Mm-hmm.
recalibrate yourself so you can be on the frequency to receive the things that you want. And when it comes to receiving, there's an aspect of the physical, um, emotional, energetic, and the spiritual. And part of
Mm-hmm.
it is like receiving information and listening to your inner self. And that's like the key point there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, because let's say if someone, and I'm sharing this as an example because this is how it can come up. If you don't know how to receive that, like that inner voice, that message from your inner self, or if you don't know how
Uh-huh.
to receive um, that feeling, that gut instinct that tends to come up, right?
Right.
It can show up as someone wanting to compliment you on something, and then you automatically, oh, you kind of bypass it, or
Done
you
it. Mm-hmm.
downplay it. Yeah, and it's just like, why do you do that?
Right. Right. Baby, listen.
Hmm.
Thinking about what you said, about the capacity. Um, Man, I always say what you give away, you get to keep. I
Hmm.
always say that. And I keep that at the forefront of my mind. And as you were speaking, I heard the level in which you are, or the level in which your capacity to receive can be measured by the level in which you give.
Hmm.
What you give away, you get to keep. And when you have the capacity to receive and welcome in love, you give it a lot of it away. You give
Yeah.
a lot of it away. When you are ready to receive goodness in your life, you no longer, your focus is not on receiving. Your focus is on giving. And you're giving those things in which you want to receive in such a way that it automatically replicates itself back to you. And it's more pronounced when you receive it because you recognize it. You're in awareness of it. And so you're allowing yourself to be in a space of receivership. Like
Hmm.
I'm ready to receive. Listen, I have recognized my ish at the beginning of the crossroads. I started immediately looking at where I was resisting. So
Hmm.
in that, I dove deep. I did work. If I didn't do the work, I wouldn't have come to the second phase, which is the flow. I wouldn't be able to find my flow if I didn't do it. So I did the work to get to the flow. So I am deserving to receive. A
Hmm.
lot of times we don't feel like we deserve to receive
That
because
part.
of those prior traumas or programmed responses.
Yeah, I think worthiness, when it comes to, so, not feeling worthy enough to receive. I know that's something I personally had to work through. And there's different stages of that too. So it's still
Yes,
kind
it
of,
is.
it'll still come up sometimes. I'm like, ooh, wait. And then, I get rid of that real quick. Because now
Mhm.
I can know when it comes up, how it can show up. And I always say the universe is petty. They're going to test you every time.
Right. All the time, right? You be like, what?
Every time they
Then
be like,
like, I
"When
don't
we
want
about
to
to
do it no
cross
more.
check?"
I thought I want, look, I thought I wanted that, but I don't want that. But I think, well, maybe, maybe let me, wait, stop. That's too much.
Thank
Or
you.
you go to, I learned my lesson already. I don't want to do it no more. I learned, I hear, I see my mistakes.
Mhm.
You can stop it now. You know what I'm saying? You go through that. You
Listen,
go through that and be going crazy.
listen. I've had to learn that so many times, and that's why, you know, it doesn't matter where you're at on your journey.
Right.
It'll show up in a different way, in
Right.
ways that you don't even expect. And it's like, yeah, you feel like you can feel like it's like, oh, I've overcome it in this particular way. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And there's more. Right.
Okay.
And it's more so about how you navigate it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, yeah, things will exist, but it's how you react to it, how you navigate it, how you overcome it and work through it. And so
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that aspect of receiving, are you
Mm-hmm.
willing to receive the guidance of your inner self? Can you trust what you're receiving? And trust is
Listen,
another conversation as
after all
well.
of that work you did in these first few states, you better be at a point of trust and at some like a certain level of trust. And if not, you need to go back to square one. Listen, look, there is no microwave healing. We're gonna leave it on this. There is no microwave healing, baby. And if you feel healing is an ongoing journey, and you hear this a lot, but a lot of times it's not described or explained in such a visual way. We have given
Mhm.
you visuals of what your evolution will look like. And this is just at one phase. How many crossroads do you go through and get to in your life? As I spoke about earlier on, we want to talk about those things that you don't even recognize as a crossroad. This, what we're telling you, is going to help you in those spaces.
Definitely.
When you don't see, we always, and I said before in the overview video, I said before about how, we don't recognize we're at a crossroads until it's something that's pronounced. And it is really like, wah, it's loud, and is affecting us in such a horrible way. Then we're like, oh my God, I'm at a crossroads. No, nigga, you're at that crossroads because there were so many other crossroads before that saying, hey, wham, wham, hey, do you see this right here? You heading toward a brick wall, my friend.
Because people wait till, we will wait until we get to like the absolute like catastrophe of a situation. We don't wait till we get like the little nudge or the warning or
The
the
warning
lesson, and then
comes
we ignore
before
the lesson.
destruction.
Exactly. Like there's
True
stages of it, and
statement.
it's like, no, it's like if it's not like complete utter chaos and catastrophe, like you're
Then
just
we
like,
don't
oh,
see it.
yeah, it's just like,
Listen, we
and
want to help you make
eventually,
your life easier, honey. We want to help you make your life. We want to give you some nuggets on how you can make your everyday life easier, because it's all about
yeah.
taking spirituality and learning how to apply it practically. You living in this 3D realm, ain't you?
Right. And
Okay.
you can't compartmentalize it either. And it's one of those things where, as you, at least from my experience, and Maya, let me know what yours has been, but
Okay.
there were times where it's like, yeah, I got to the point where it had to be complete, utter chaos and catastrophe. But then over time, I learned how to start paying more attention to the more subtle signs. And that's where why receiving is so important, and how this will develop over time. Because the more you start learning to receive that, those intuitive hits, those
Yes.
messages from your inner self, listening to your gut instinct, or like just something doesn't feel right in your body, right? When you start to pay attention to those things that are already innately in you, everyone is intuitive. Everyone has the ability to do that. And to connect and to pay attention to what doesn't feel right, or what feels good in your body, what feels like
Right.
a yes in your body, what feels like a no. um, when you start to do that over time, then you'll start to pay more attention, and you start to refine how you receive the information, how your body responds
Yes.
to experiences, and
Yes.
and messages and
Yes.
thoughts.
Yes.
So there are different layers to it, but this is, some of the examples that we share. This is how it can come up, and
Mm-hmm.
why it's so important when it comes to navigating a crossroads, especially when it comes to decisions. It's like, well, how is your body experiencing one scenario versus another? If you are at a
Yeah.
crossroads and you're torn between two, three, four, five decisions or options you can take, it's not about what's the right or wrong thing, like we've been talking about, right? It's about which one, like, how does it feel in your body? How does it feel for you spiritually? How does it feel for you, and mentally, emotionally? And note that if you feel fear, that doesn't mean that that's the wrong thing, or that's not the right thing. A lot
Absolutely.
of times, if it scares you a
Absolutely.
little bit, or if you feel just like, ooh,
You
you
go to
know,
run. Track shoes.
right, sometimes that's the direction that you need to take because it's slightly intimidating, or it might shake you to your core a little bit because you're like, oh, I have to become something more. I
Right.
have to step outside of my
Ooh.
comfort
Ooh, let's stick
zone.
a pin in that. Ooh, let's stick a pin in that. I have to become something more. That's a perfect segue into our next one. Listen, honey child. We got one more again, the last one now. At the crossroads, you have to come to recognizing your resistance, working through that flow, okay, being in receivership, and next is the decision making. So, what I would like for you guys to do is examine where you are right in this moment from everything that you've done up until this point. And I want you to look at what areas in your life are you struggling to receive. See, Ujo and I are all about providing assistance to those of them who are ready to do the work. And we know this simply because we were just exactly where you are, ready to do the work. And we had to get to a space where we were no nonsense, no bullshit with ourselves. If you've made it to this part of receiving, see where you are, see where you're resisting receiving, write it down, make it plain for yourself, and listen to your intuitive heart as to what it is that you need to do about it. I'm going to say this. You can always get assistance, additional assistance from either Ujo or myself. Okay. You can always get additional assistance. We're here for you. We would love to assist you if you are our assignment. We're always going to answer questions for you. We're always going to be able to give our perspective from our experience and our level of expertise only. Ultimately, we're not going to do the work. You have to do it for yourself. Ultimately, you are the primary source and strength of your change and evolution. We're just guides. We're just guides sharing our experiences. So go on over to YouTube, like and comment. Share us out to your friends. Like, comment, and share on everything with everything. And put in your question. You got questions? Share them in the comments. We're gonna answer them at the final portion of the reset. All right, y'all. It's been wonderful. Mayet Ajay, peace out.
Bye, y'all.